It will be interesting to see if anyone is gonna tune in this late night Monday. It is late here in Copenhagen, Denmark. But whatever time zone you're in, whatever time of the day you're in, welcome to this Monday Doodle, where I will be um, folding and drawing and cutting a Gækkebrev. A Gækkebrev is, I believe, a Danish tradition, at least it's Scandinavian. And I've tried to do a bit of Googling, and it seems like its equivalent is a secret Snowdrop letter. You guys out there will have to correct me if I'm wrong. But the general idea about this Gækkebrev is that you carve out a motif in a paper. I've already made a test. And you then write a secret letter to someone, typically to children. They love this, but also child-minded souls. And then you write some dots according to your name. They say best regards dot 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 dot. For instance, for my name Casper, and then the person that you send this Gækkebrev to has to guess what person this is. If the person guesses that the name, if the person guesses that that was me who sent the Gækkebrev, I would have to owe the person an egg, typically a chocolate egg or candy, those sorts of things. But yeah, I will be cutting and just chilling and drinking some English breakfast tea. And as I go along, I'll try to explain a bit about the steps and about this tradition here. It's one of my favorite things to do actually when it's Easter. This is to do a Gækkebrev. So welcome and enjoy. Mm-mm-mm. Nice. So let's take a look at the materials here, so you can also do a Gækkebrev. I should also mention that I've already made a stencil that you guys can print out and use if you want to make one. If you want to make one which is the same that I will do, or maybe it's some inspiration for you guys. But apart from that, let's just take a look at the materials. I have a piece of paper. I have a scissor. I can recommend that you use a small scissor. It's very beautiful pink. Small scissor is good because you can get into some quite intricate patterns, so small scissor is good. I've also seen some people use a hobby knife or utility knife. I will also use a pencil to do the pattern. I will also use a piece of paper to have as a background. Actually, I think this is gonna be the background paper. And then, if you are really into the tradition of making a Gækkebrev, you want to include an Easter flower, typically this flower, which is called a vintergæk in Danish. I don't know what the word of this flower is in English, but this is the flower that typically comes first in spring, and it can always it's pretty renowned for popping out of snow, for instance, as the first flower. Maybe that's why people have been giving it this name vintergæk, which roughly translates to winter riddle. I don't know, something that riddles people. This is the one I will include in the letter. The first thing that you do when you do a Gækkebrev is not to draw, actually. Well, you could do that for figuring out what kind of motif you want. But the first thing you actually do is folding. So the way I'll fold now is the way that it will fit to this stencil here. So I'll start by folding the paper on this X here. So and then I have the open side to my right side, and I will fold from the bottom and up. There we go. Yeah. So there we have it. And I will keep this open side pointing upwards, this way upwards. What you can then do is that you can draw a motif. You could also just go ahead and cut, actually. And that motif will then be multiplied 4 times. So you can get some pretty intricate patterns, and I must say that it doesn't really matter what you carve out of these patterns. It will always end up really, really beautiful. This multiplication it's just a beautiful thing. I think human beings are kind of geared to like symmetry and to like multiple patterns that are the same. But as I've mentioned, I have made this little stencil here, and I'll make sure to upload this to in the description as a PDF, so you can print it out. I will put it on the top here, so it fits with the corner, almost like this. And then I can trace using the stencil. This circle down here will be an egg when it's going to be cut and folded out again. Down here we have what I think is an Easter hare. Maybe it's the hare that delivers the chocolate egg. And who am I sending this letter to? I'm sending this letter to my 2 nieces. And I have actually done it a couple of times. I'm pretty sure that they're still at that age where they think it's a lot of fun. And who, as a kid, doesn't like chocolate eggs and candy? This up here is a flower. I'm not sure if it's a tulip or what it is really. And then a heart, because I love my nieces so much. So now I've transferred the motif here, and then it's really about cutting. I think I'll start down here at the egg. Just gonna cut, and then it's important that you just cut all the way through the folded paper here, otherwise you don't get that multiplication. Anyone out there have made or heard about a Snowdrop letter? I would love to hear it in the comments if this is something that you have experience with, and maybe know what kind of tradition this is. In here on the middle is a bit difficult always, but you can always. Let's just see if we can get it right. There we go. From here I can carve or cut. Maybe it's a good idea to just cut out this inner piece of the rabbit. And this way I have a place from which I can work more easily. It's a nice thing to do, this Gækkebrev, because I think that, of course, you think about the ones that you're sending it to, and it's kind of funny if they will guess it right away, or if they have to think about it. But also here in March, I think that this is the time of the year where we haven't really received kind of spring weather. Like it's not that warm yet. So this is a great way to sit inside and drink tea and coffee and just sit inside and cut. Feels nice and cozy. Cut around here, and then we have the ear. I want these ears to be round, not sharp. And we have the other ear up here. Like so. And we can do the back down here. So that was the rabbit actually, and the egg. This is how it looks by now. Gonna continue working on the flower now, I think. Before, I just gotta get a sip of English breakfast tea. We'll just slide it down here and just keep coloring. I didn't really have the time to study or to look up why we even, like, why did this tradition of Gækkebrev come into being. There must be some kind of explanation. If you there know, you can enlighten us all. If you are, maybe you're from Denmark and you're watching along, or maybe you're just interested in culture and different traditions, you're also welcome to bid in. I assume that it's a tradition that evolved due to, I don't know, having a fun activity to with children, but I'm not sure if that's the case really. But doing these paper cuts reminds me of, and also the fact that it's a Danish tradition reminds me of the great poet H.C. Andersen, who is from Denmark and who was really also a talented paper cut artist. He did many paper cuts, so it could also have a connection to H.C. Andersen, who knows. And there's something really simple and effective and beautiful about these silhouettes. It doesn't take much to create something that's really beautiful to look at and intriguing. Cut the flower up here. Voila. Go. Let's just put this one out. Have half a flower, or a flower and half of a leaf. And the finishing touch of the flower. There we have the flower. Let's check out how it looks now. Nice. I think this heart here will just be that glazing part. Just adding one more thing to the heart. I'm sitting in the living room and I can hear fireworks right now. Interesting time of the year to do some fireworks. Whoops. Careful I don't tear it. There we are. I think I need to just fix the heart a bit here, just at the middle of the heart here. A bit on that. Make it more round. So there we go. So there we have it. A Gækkebrev. And what I will do now is that I will take a pen and then I will write a little poem. And this is what the tradition says, that you write a little poem, usually something that goes in the direction of, my name is lost, can you find it? If you can find my name, you will receive an egg. There are plenty of different versions out there. And I'll write mine in Danish and maybe I'll try to translate it roughly to English afterwards. But here goes. Let's see where I should write. I should also think of the fact that I need to have some place for symbols for the names. Yeah, I'll go up here. Or here? No, here. So here it says, riddle, 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 our names have become lost. Gotta be careful I don't write this in English. Next verse goes, no wait, can you be sure? They are right here with dots, written in dots. And this is where I will then write or do a dot for each letter in the name and just to spice things up. I am writing this letter on behalf of me and my fiance and our daughter. So this is 3 names all in all. And most people do it with just 1 name. I have to count. There we go. And then our daughter, where should she be? She should be down here, I think. And here you can also write it with different symbols. Some people draw the name with flowers, maybe an Eastern hair, maybe eggs. It's really up to you. Trees, anything goes. And the final verse goes here. I'm gonna write it accordingly here. There we go. Final verse here, down here goes, if you guess all our names, you will receive eggs from the hair in your arms. It doesn't rhyme in English, but it does in Danish. And from here, some people choose to just put this in an envelope and then send it. And it has a really nice, simple feeling to it. I think it's really charming just to send this. You can also take it 1 level up and put some background paper behind it, glue it on, which is actually my intention. Something quite also thin paper again. This is also very thin. Remember, it has to be thin paper. And this way you get a pretty nice effect, I think. I think I'll glue it on. It also looks beautiful when it's the shadows here. You can maybe see from this angle here. Shadow play. Let's just glue it on. This is where gluing becomes a sport, with all these corners and creases and little quirky detours. Good thing I just had an English breakfast tea, which keeps me awake and to the point. I usually drink coffee when doing these Monday doodle streams, but I thought today, nah, would it be a bit too late to have a good old cup of joe? I'll have to wait till tomorrow. Whoops, we don't want that in there. Around the flower, around the rabbit. My initial thought was to do a large rabbit face in the middle, but that just didn't work out, and I had to figure out what to do with the whiskers and all. But I think that would be cool Easter or Gækkebrev. So it's glued, and I have a paper here which is roughly A4. So I think it will fit. It's actually a bit larger than A4. So I have to scoop it down here. Let's see here. There we go. It fits. do it a bit this way. There we go, and then I just need to cut this excessive paper here off, just to keep the finish. Yes. Nice. And you can of course go with all kinds of different colors. You could also choose, now I've chosen white paper and then yellowish as a background. But you can of course choose multiple colors to do these. There are many inspirations out there on YouTube and Pinterest and whatnot. But I think it's quite nice. I like that the egg is here in the middle, kind of centers the composition. And as I've mentioned, the stencil is out on the description after I've ended the stream. One final, and hello to Jennifer. Hello. That was just one who came in. Nice to see you. We're nearing the end here, but you can of course go back and watch the process of this. But this was the Gækkebrev, the secret Snowdrop letter, which I'll be sending to my nieces, and they have to guess my fiance's name and my name and our daughter's name. If they guess it, we owe them an egg and a chocolate egg or some candy. And one final thing, what you can put in here to put the glazing on the cake is a flower. This winter cake here, and these are not as fresh as they used to be, but I'll pick this one. This is okay fresh. And then just wipe it off here. And this is where I should have thought that in actually, but I think that could be here, could be here. Shouldn't be the place where I fold it though. Could be here. I think I'll just cut this one. Let's see if I fold it. Like this. Fold it again. I can tell that it would be possible to have right there. Just a bit of tape to keep the flower in place. Something really old school about this, picking a flower and then putting into a letter and sending to someone. It just feels very like I'm in the old days right now, fairy tale place. But they will know that I've picked up this flower and placed it in here and cut out this letter. So there we go. A Gækkebrev with a poem and a little flower. I can't remember the name of this. I have to research better next time. But an Easter flower, a spring flower. Thanks so much for watching along, and I hope that I maybe have inspired you to do your own Gækkebrev or secret Snowdrop letter here in March or April. Now you know how to make one. I wish you all a happy spring, and I'll see you very soon. In this week here, I'll be uploading a new draw-along video, so stay tuned. I think it will be on Thursday, so I'm looking forward to share that one with you. And bye, Jennifer, and yeah, have a good one all. Till next time, have fun drawing.